Hi, and welcome to the MCB Community Update. My name's Eric Joseph. I'm the Executive Director of the Audible Local Ledger, located in beautiful Mashpee, Massachusetts. It's part of the Massachusetts Audio Information Network, Maine, your main source for accessible community news and information. We bring local news and information to the blind and print disabled across the state. As part of this podcast, we'll interview the Commissioner John Oliveira of the Mass Commission for the Blind quarterly. And in the intervening months, we'll bring experts who have a lot to offer to our community. And we'll listen to what they have to say, we'll ask them some probing questions, and hopefully we'll all learn together. We welcome your feedback and hope you enjoy our series of interviews. And now, without further ado, here is the MCB Community Update. Hi, it's been a few months since our last conversation with Commissioner John Oliveira of MCB. So here we have Commissioner Oliveira. Can you tell us what's new at MCB since the last time we spoke?
All right. Hello, everyone, and glad to be with you all again here. And, there's lots of things that are new, and I'll touch base on some of these. Obviously, things continue to roll forward here at MCB. We're looking much forward to all of our activities related to our internship program. Some of your listeners may have heard, but many may not have heard, that the MCB has an internship program. We place approximately 70 individuals throughout the Commonwealth in a variety of different work settings, internship settings. And we have just completed the soft skills training that we provide to all of our interns that are going to be participating. In early June, we have what we call the opening ceremony, where the interns get to hear from individuals who were past interns, and get to hear from a keynote speaker and get a lot of other information related to their internship. And then the internships begin. And all of our counselors work very hard. Our employment staff and other supporting staff here at the agency work very hard to get this project moving. The internships occur, and then there's a closing ceremony at the State House where all the interns come. And we invite, again, keynote speakers, and sometimes, or last year, the Secretary Walsh came, and Undersecretary, and you never know who's going to show up. A lot of the legislators drop in, and some of their aides drop in to look in on the ceremony. It's a great event, and we're all excited about that here at MCB. Obviously, we're excited about the continuing work that goes on as we attempt to provide services to our consumers. We had our Assistive Technology unit providing in-house training to our vision rehab therapists or rehab teachers here at the agency. That's gone. That was primarily on the use of the iPhone and iPad with large print or voice output. So get reports that that's gone very well. They're going to wrap up for the summer, let the vision rehab therapists teach and implement what they've learned. And if they need any additional, as we get updates on software or different things, this could be something we could do again in the future. But it's good when it's always good when some of our staff can go ahead and transfer some of that knowledge they have, some of the skills they have, to other individuals here at the agency. And some of these vision rehab therapists had not obviously had extensive training, and it was sort of something that was needed, and it was definitely very useful here at the agency. Also on that training of our staff, we retained two retired longtime employees here at MCB to provide skills trainings to our vision rehab therapists that were hired recently at the agency. They provided training on non-visual skills, uh, how someone does different activities in the kitchen, how to remove a pot or put a pot on the stove safely, how to remove items from the oven after you've baked your cake, how to get that cake out without burning your arm on the oven. Um, those sort of things. Lots of other how to keep your house clean, different ways, different methods you have to clean your apartment or your house. So that training was provided over a number of weeks, and the individuals gave very good reviews on uh, what they learned, and it's always a learning process, and it's always what we try to do to have our staff have the most recent up to date skills and training, so that they can provide training to the folks that they're working with on a daily basis. Um, Other than that, obviously the end of the fiscal year is coming our way, and we're going through all the different procedures that we do at the agency to close out the state fiscal year, and that involves making sure that all of our uh, payment vouchers and purchase orders have been all either managed, either to be paid or to be decreased or to be moved into a different status. And so we look forward to that, and obviously we're looking forward to our new fiscal year coming in July, and the budget process is well underway, and we look forward to that. Also, looking forward to seeing our brochure of services. Mike Ciccone, our communications director, has been working very hard with our team here at the agency to get that put together. We hadn't updated that in quite a number of years, and that should be available on our web page in the very near future. So that's in the final stages. And that's some of the things that are happening here. I'm sure there's others, but
That's a lot.
yeah,
That's a lot.
there's always
Yeah.
a lot
So,
happening at MCV.
yeah. So it sounds like orientation and mobility has been well received recently, and the assistive technology training has been received well. And I'm wondering, the interns that you bring in, have you found that some of them end up coming to work for the MCB, or is it just another step on their kind of path, their career path to whatever they're doing?
Well, the interns that we're placing out as consumers, we have retained some of them after they graduate from college and
Great.
decide they want to work at MCB. So yes, there are some folks. One that most recently that I actually two that are currently working here now that were interns in the past, and maybe even more than that as far as um, I don't remember all their names, but you know.
Sure. Yeah, that's a great way to kind of kick the tires on potential employees in the business world. I know that's what I've done in several different positions I've held, where bringing in interns and you find out an awful lot about them, how reliable, how much they're committed to what you're doing. And it gives you a
Um,
chance to kind of say, well, I've kind of broken them in. That'd be great to hire them now if you
no,
really like them. It's a
it works out very well. We've had again interns that have if they're in their senior year and they've done an internship there, several have received job offers for those different locations. Others used contacts there to network and found were offered a position at another company. So there's many ways that it is definitely beneficial for our interns. The program has been going on for many years, and I think we're somewhere around 80% of individuals who have gone through this internship program are employed or obtain employment. So it is
That's
definitely,
fantastic.
they take the skills that they learn, the soft skills. They take the learning that getting ready for work every day, getting into a routine, and using the technology that they need to use at the job site. That comes in very handy and very beneficial for them. And we don't have a limit or cutoff on an internship. So if you start interning in this program when you're a freshman, by the time you get to be a senior, or even through grad school, you'll have 4 or 6 different internship placements with different companies, different organizations, and that helps you also build a resume so that you can move on and have something to show employers as you go into your job search.
Sounds like a great program.
Yep, yes,
Shifting gears a little bit, but touching on some of the things that you just out, you laid out for us. I'm often told that Massachusetts, which has extraordinarily high taxes, much of those go to paying for services that other states don't prioritize. So, can you discuss some of those services that we offer here in Massachusetts? And this is just based on your own familiarity with other states and what they might do. But what do we offer in comparison to other states? Because I often hear from other people who I know in other states that there are very few services for them. They have a really tough time finding a way to get help or support or tools or training. And in Massachusetts, it seems like we might have a distinct advantage because we do prioritize services for people who can use them. Maybe other states less so. Do you have any kind of anecdotal knowledge or any information about what we do here that others are lacking?
well, we've had many clients. I've heard that from a variety of clients over the years, that they will go to another state and they return here back to this state because of the services that they just couldn't get in another state. So one of them being, um, and it's transportation related, that here in the Commonwealth, people who are legally blind are able to ride, let's say, the MBTA and other transit authorities, able to ride for free, and that ends up saving a lot of money if you're out and about a lot. That saves you a lot of money in transportation. Other states offer half price, but this is the only state I've heard that offers totally free transportation for illegally blind. Um, a lot of seniors get a 50% discount also in many states, but free is cheaper than 50% off. So that's one of the benefits, and the other benefit there is that our public transportation is much more robust than other most other states that I'm aware of. We also have a good paratransit system for those who need the door-to-door services. That's comes in very handy. We also have here in the state, it isn't free, but it's a reliable agreement with the partnership with the MBTA and Lyft and Uber to get sort of to get door-to-door service using Uber and Lyft drivers. So that's I've not heard of any other state having that type of partnership either. So it that really works out transportation wise. So the other services are more on the SR, social rehab services side. Very few states, agencies for the blind, they just don't have the services for seniors or children housed within the agency that serves people who are blind. So um, other agencies might pick it up, but obviously it's not going to be as extensive as ours, or uh, not going to have the variety or the development side that were targeted specifically for seniors who are losing their vision or legally blind, and or children who are legally blind. So in this case, offering rehabilitation teaching services, orientation and mobility services, and assistive technology services, many states, those are not even uh, available other than through like a private nonprofit, maybe a lighthouse that they might have, and very limited and very, very hard to get. And so it's not one place. So you come to MCB and you have the MCB case manager, and your MCB case manager is going to refer you to all those services. We also have low vision services. We will pay for low vision evaluations at low vision doctors. Many states don't even have a low vision doctor that would that just works with the remaining vision that you have, and prescribes different low vision devices that would help you continue to maximize that vision to the best ability that you have to use it. It's very difficult to find in many states. Again, our assistive technology, most agencies don't have an assistive technology unit specifically, or that work with people who are seniors. They may work with folks who are looking for work, but very rarely do they work with folks unless, again, a private nonprofit has gotten a special grant that's doing something in that area. And, as far as getting cane travel, if you're going to be out and about, we mentioned our transportation system, uh, and the discounts you can get using it. But if you don't have good cane travel skills, you could have a problem. You could, if you're not using the cane or don't know how to use it appropriately, you could have an accident, miss a curb, and trip and fall and get injured, which we hear about in some cases. But so that getting these services is vital. Rehab teaching, orientation, and mobility, along with assistive technology and low vision training. It really helps keep people active and participating in their community, and allows them to be comfortable on where they live, and it allows them to participate in community meetings or community activities, visit individuals they know, and attend public events, knowing that they've gotten sufficient training to give them that. And if you need more, oftentimes seniors, their vision changes, and all of a sudden they need a little more. Now, so we go back in with our vision rehab therapists and give them additional training. Maybe specific areas are more difficult to work with, work with at home now. So we'll try to give them some tips and some other ways to do things more non-visually. We did the same thing with mobility travel. Now you may need training in different areas, or how to cross a very specific street in an area you want to get to, or even when you move. You've sold your home and you're moving into another area. So we'll go back out and show you how to get around in the local neighborhood to find where your local convenience store might be, or your local closest bus stop, and get you acclimated back so that you can continue to participate in the community that you live in.
Sounds like we're extremely lucky, and we pay for it, obviously, but the services that come when you need them, you really don't mind that some taxes were taken to be able to provide them, because when you need them, you're awfully glad that they're there. And I don't know why more people. Go ahead.
I pretty much used to tell consumers when that they say, well, I don't want to take the service because another might need it. And I used to tell them, and I still tell them, you've paid taxes all your life. If you need this service, now it's your turn to take the service. Don't worry about someone else needing it or you taking it from someone else, because we don't have that problem here. We serve everyone that comes to the agency, and we don't have a shortage of that equipment or any supplies or anything like that. We're in good shape. So I always convince them, don't worry about taking from someone else. Do what you can, do the best you can to get yourself to the place that you are comfortable in your home and have the items you need to help you sustain yourself as independent as possible in the home.
Yeah, I came back from New York, not because of the services in Massachusetts, but because of the Red Sox and the Patriots and the Celtics and the
All
Bruins.
right.
So there's
We have
yet
good
another
sports
reason
teams too.
to drop. Yeah, bring them all back here. We got services and we got sports. What's better
That's
than
right.
that? We'll take care of you and you'll have a good time while doing it.
That's right.
You mentioned a couple things earlier that I'd like to touch on, but you kind of answered them already in the special programs coming in, like the resource guide and some of the information that's going to be shared in the future. But we talked a little bit about budget. I'm told this year there's quite a bit of belt tightening that's being discussed because of the shortfall in taxes overall. And I know that that is something that through the nonprofit world, at least my world, it kind of gives a little note of alarm. How have you fared in the last couple of years? And what is the outlook for this year? Is it pretty much we're looking okay, or do you have some concerns about what projects might have to have be postponed or changed because of the budget?
Well, our fiscal 25 budget, we were level funded. And going back, I don't know, a bunch of years, as far as I remember, we've been level funded here at the agency. So it's never been a problem. So when I say level funding, I mean that when they do fund the agency, take into account to all the services that we've provided in the past year and how we did with that, they will level fund you. But obviously, they know that the cost of living for staff goes up, and that different individuals um, are receiving more salary here at the agency, and rent goes up, and different supplies cost more. So therefore, and services cost more. If we use outside vendors, their rates can go up. So therefore, when we have level funded budgets, there's also, it doesn't mean it's the same amount we got last year. It's the same amount plus usually some of those additional items I've mentioned are tallied
Mhm.
into budget. So so there is no concern at this point in time about any programs here at the agency. We're in good shape. We expect to continue to move forward, and we are staffed probably at the highest number we've been staffed at in the past number of years, as far as headcount goes here at the agency. So the governor in level funding us did provide us funding to keep 3 additional positions in rehab teaching and orientation and mobility that we were looking to fund. So that worked out well, and so we're in great shape. We have a great
Good.
a great future here in 2025, and we're looking forward to that.
Glad to hear that. It sounds like things are going well and everything is well in hand, nothing to really be concerned about beyond just, day-to-day life, trying to get through and doing everything that you all do anyway.
Yeah.
Along those lines, though, when we look at the map of which I've seen at different points of where people who are blind are located in our state, each region has a different kind of red color to it. And when you look at some of the older counties, like Barnstable County, one of the oldest counties in the country, and Boston, of course, with its density of population, how how do you decide which region gets which assets, or is it equally distributed whether it's Pittsfield or Springfield or Worcester or Lowell or Barnes or Mashpee, how do you decide? Is it look at all the people in this particular county that could use our service? I think we need a team of 5. Whereas in this one, where you have maybe a slightly more scarce population, we only need a team of 2. I'll peek in the kitchen. Is that a council meeting where you all sit down and kind of discuss, here are the needs, here's our resources, how do we meet these needs in these regions with our finite resources? Because I think that's really interesting. And it also counters when someone might say, hey, we don't get enough attention from them. They're too busy giving it to Boston or something like that, which I know isn't the case, but maybe would go to alleviating some of those conversations that I sometimes hear.
So the agency is divide. I'll try to keep it simple because we're have a time constraint here. But so the agency is divided into
Okay.
six regions, and obviously each region has a different population. But each region's basic setup is the same. They have a director, they have some couple of supervisors, and then they have direct service staff, and they have a support staff person. So the budget is laid out. Obviously, we've been doing this for quite a while, and we see what the budgets are like and what was expended last year. We know was expended 5 years ago. Populations do change. People move. At one point, Western Mass, or our Region 1 office, Springfield area, lots of people seem to be moving that way. And that population was going up. In the summertime, the population on the Cape goes up as opposed to there in the winter time. So each region has its own budget, and again, we use the budget based on what was needed last year, the last 2 years, 3 years. It's sort of an ongoing review. Every year we look at that, and we were able to make adjustments. Like if one region didn't use, let's use an example, didn't use what was allocated in homemakers to have chore service folks come to the home. If you're under 60, we would pay for that under special circumstances. But so if you didn't use that, then you could say, well, maybe we won't need that much this year. They can allocate that to another area in their region. And we have the capacity to move money to any region, any activity code, any program, any service that's needed throughout the year at any time. So if we're seeing that, hey, there's a much more significant spend on a particular service, we can adjust that and move money from someplace else that may not be spending it as quickly, and to cover that, or we can look at another region and move money from another region. So there's a whole lot of moving and transferring and managing of the budget that goes on year round. So it's not like you get the money and that's it. There's nothing else. There's interactions that go on with the fiscal staff, with other individuals at the agency, to make sure that everything is running smooth, so that no one is short of money for anything. We can, if you need more money to pay for low vision evaluations or low vision devices, we will check other regions if they are not spending as much or don't anticipate. It's a conversation with the directors, and the fiscal team moves the money over. The fiscal staff has been meeting monthly with the regional directors since like January to try to bring to get a fine tuning on the different funding sources that are being utilized. So it's a constant moving of money back and forth, but it's all done behind the scenes, and it has no impact on services. The money's within the budget, within the agency here, so we can move it around and assign it to different areas.
Great. Sounds equitable, fair, and working well. So thank you for answering that. We'll end with just another personal question. We always like to get to know our people at MCB. And we asked about music last time. So how about dining? Do you have a favorite restaurant? And what's your favorite meal, Commissioner Oliveira?
Oh, okay. Uh, all right.
Curveball.
So I know my favorite one. One I go to often is Bugaboo Creek, right?
Okay.
And
The talking
usually,
moose.
and usually I'll get the what's a good healthy salmon. I'll get the salmon.
Say what you really get. Don't tell us what the healthy one
No,
is.
no.
What do you really like to eat?
Salmon or chicken is probably what I get there. I don't eat much red meat, but salmon or chicken. Jake and Joe's is another one I like. Um, there's a variety of them that in the area that I go that are just small non chain names, but those probably
Right.
the ones uh, that I uh, visit.
Well, mine's chicken parm, and I don't care who makes it, but that's my favorite meal. I like chicken parmesan. If you can make a good chicken parm with pasta, I'm very happy. Commissioner, thanks so much for your time today. It's been very informative. You've given us a lot of information, a lot happening at MCB. We're really happy to hear that. And we will be speaking with you again in next quarter. Thanks
All
for your
right,
time today.
very good. Thank you so much.